as you turn your palms to face upwards, just let the skin of the hands soften and let your eyes gently close. And let's take a couple of breaths collectively to feel that we're practicing in a community, albeit in our different spaces, but also as a way to really connect to where our body is and how we're feeling on this Monday lunchtime. So take your first really big, full, deep breath in. And then open the mouth and let something from the morning go. Good. 2 more like that. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Good. I'm going to mute everyone now. Inhale 1 more time. And then open the mouth, exhale out. Good. And then go ahead and gently open the eyes and start to do really big shoulder rolls. 3 really big shoulder rolls, just starting to get the energy flowing backwards, and then start doing 3 really big shoulder rolls forwards, and just notice how the shoulders feel this lunchtime. And then once you've done 3 forwards, 3 backwards, you're going to draw both shoulder blades and both shoulders up towards the ears. Slightly dunk your head back, and then give yourself a little self-massage. So as you kind of snake your head side to side, the base of the neck should be giving the top of the shoulders a nice kind of warming, awakening massage. And then bring your head to stillness. Keep the shoulders where they are, but now start to really kind of up the ante of squeezing them. So squeeze the shoulders against the neck, tight, 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 until it's kind of horrible but wonderful all at once. Squeeze a little tighter, and now completely just let your shoulders drop. And then take your right arm all the way across your body, and then with your left arm, hook the right forearm. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, use the left arm to pull the right arm across your body. So you start to feel this opening through the outer edge of the bicep and the tricep. Soften the shoulder blades away from the ears. And if you haven't already, just begin to let your yogic breath, your ujjayi breath, start to be heard in the base of the throat, just a soft narrowing at the base of the throat. Then inhale, open both arms wide, spread your fingers, and then draw the left arm across the body, hook the left forearm with the right, and then gently pull the arm towards you, the straight arm towards you, so you feel through the outer shoulder this nice awakening. Check that the face is relaxed, the jaw is soft, the breath is full and deep, even inhale, even exhale. And then inhale, open the arms nice and wide, reach the arms all the way overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms all the way up, 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 up. And then as you press the sit bones down, really reach the pads of the palm up to the sky. And then keep the right elbow lifted, draw the left elbow down. So you kind of got this lifted elbow, and then press the back of the skull as best you can back into the right forearm. So you feel this big opening through the armpit on the right hand side. This is very good for kind of stimulating the lymph and getting our immunity nice and strong. And then inhale all the way up. And now keep the left elbow lifted, right arm down. And again, press the back of the skull into that top arm. And as best you can, slightly hug the front ribs in. So you're not in a back bend here. There's a slight engagement, a toning of the core. Take 1 more deep breath in. And then release the arms up. Inhale, lengthen side body. And then exhale, pulse the palms forwards, round back, and draw your chin slightly into your chest. And let's pulse this. Inhale up. Exhale, round the back. Press your shoulder blades back as you reach the palms forwards. 1 more time. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Breath with movement. Nice, everyone. Exhale, press it all the way forwards. Good. Then inhale, reach the arms back up. Release your right fingertips down. Reach the left arm all the way up and over. Take this really big, nice, juicy side stretch. And then inhale, come through center and change sides. Good, flow into the breath. 1 more time. Inhale, over. Good, exhale, other way. Good, then inhale, come all the way back through center. Make your way onto your hands and your knees, onto all fours. Keep the breath flowing, and then really check that the hands are right underneath the wrists. So the arm bones are vertical and the knees are right underneath your hip bones. And then as you inhale, lift the sit bones, lift the collarbones, lift the gaze, look up, let the belly hang. And then exhale, press through the hands, press through the knees. Draw your belly muscles backwards towards your spine. Cat-cow. Again, inhale. Sit bones broad, heart lifts. Exhale, round the back. Push the floor away, push the floor away, push the floor away. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale. And then inhale, come to a neutral spine. As you exhale, shift your weight just slightly more into your finger pads so your belly starts to kind of bite inwards. Then extend the left arm forwards, shoulder height, thumb up, pinky down. Micro bend your right elbow, so you're using your muscles, not your joints. And then either stay here, or if you want to work a bit stronger, this is lunchtime, stretch your right leg out. So you're in a one arm, one leg balance. And then the back foot, spin all 5 toes to face down. Lengthen out through the back of the neck. Good. Take a full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, bring the left elbow, right knee in towards each other, round the upper back. A bit of core work, a bit of balance. Inhale, re-extend, spread the shoulders, spread the toes. Exhale, knee and elbow, hug and kiss in towards the midline. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw all the way in. Now, inhale, extend. Option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, bend the back heel up to the sky. With your left hand, reach round, grab hold of the foot or the outer ankle, and then begin to kick the foot back and up as you bow and kind of slingshot your heart forwards into this half variation of Dhanurasana. Wherever you are, fill the shape with breath. Really good, everyone. Soften the jaw, relax the tongue. Good. One more full deep breath in. If you're holding onto the foot, release the arms, stretch it forwards, and then slowly, slowly change sides. So take a breath in all fours. As you exhale, shift the weight slightly more to the finger pads so the belly slightly engages, and then right arm forwards at the height of the shoulder, thumb up, pinky down, and then stretch, if you wish, the left leg back. And then with the left foot, make sure all 5 toes are facing the ground. So there's a slight sense of your inner left thigh spiraling to the sky. Stay a couple of breaths in the hold before you start to do the flows or the crunches. Good. Full breath in here. And then when you exhale, knee to elbow. And really lift the belly muscles towards the sky. Inhale, extend, spread the toes, spread the fingers. That's it, Sophie. Exhale, draw it in. And a little less drawing in for you, Laura. 2 more rounds. That's it. And then the next time you come with the arm and the leg extended outwards, either stay there or start to bend the back heel to the sky. And with the front hand, reach around and grab hold of the foot. And then kick the foot as much back and up as you can, but at the same time, slingshot your heart forward so your collarbones want to broaden. See how fully you can fill the shape with your breath. Good, last 2, really good, everyone. And then slowly re-extend the arm, re-extend the leg, come back to all fours. And then keep your knees where they are, your feet where they are. But now walk your hands about 1 to 2 hands distance further forward. So their hands are going to be about 1 hand's distance away from the front edge of the mat. Arms at about 45 degrees. Now grip the mat with your finger pads and squeeze your elbows slightly towards each other until your chest muscles start to switch on. Tuck the toes under and then lift your hips up and back into your first downward dog, letting the head hang. Then as you inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes. As you exhale, bend your left knee, press your right heel to the ground, like bicycling or walking the dog. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, bend the right knee, sink the left heel to the ground. And then continue to do this a few more rounds. Let your breath kind of guide your own speed. And really see if you can move right through the whole sole of the foot. So move right from the tip of the toe, pressing all the way down through the heel. So the underside of the foot starts to awaken. Keep your hands very actively pressing into the earth and that slight hugging of the arms towards each other. Good, last 2 rounds. And then find stillness a moment. Rise back up onto your tiptoes again, lift the heels. Keep that, bend your knees about 1/3 of the way to the floor, and then lift your sitting bones, the bones of the buttocks, higher. So you feel this big scooping into the lower back. Now see if you can keep that scooping into the lower back And slowly, slowly start to extend your upper thigh bones backwards, maybe sinking the heels to the floor, but see if you can keep the integrity of the lower back. Take a full deep breath in. Open mouth, releasing breath out. Now walk your hands all the way backwards towards your feet. Doing a forward fold at the back edge of your mat. Soften your knees. Interlace your fingers above your lower back. Let the head hang. And then see if you can bring the pads of the palms, the whole of both palms touching. Reach the arms up and then slowly start to bring them overhead. If that's tricky, you can always use a strap between the hands. So interlace your fingers above your lower back and then reach your arms up and overhead. That's it. Now, feel your feet and squeeze your ankles towards one another so you feel the legs firm up. Good. Unlock the knees and bring a bit more weight towards the ball of the foot. That's it, Helen, you got it. And then really work the thighs. Draw from your kneecap, the muscles of the thighs engage upwards towards the belly. And then give your head, your neck a little shake, yes, no, just to check there's no unnecessary tension here. Good. One more full deep breath in. Exhale, slowly bring the hands first to the lower back, then back to the earth, and then walk yourself back out into your downward facing dog. Good. Take a full deep breath in. At the end of your exhale, look forward as many steps as you need. Step your feet up between the hands, hip bones distance apart. Bring the hands halfway up the shins, look up and lengthen halfway. And then exhale, fold forward. Your knees can be soft if the backs of the legs feel tight. Again, inhale, look up and lengthen halfway. Reach the heart away from the pelvis. Exhale, melt the heart towards the thighs. One more time. Inhale, spread the toes, reach the heart forwards. Exhale, melt down and in. And then this time, strong feet, look forwards, spiral the arms high to the sky, standing with the hands in prayer overhead. Exhale, bring the hands all the way to the heart center. And then we'll start to flow with breath. Inhale, reach the arms out and up and overhead. Exhale, soften the knees, swan dive forwards, draw navel to spine. Either fingers to the earth if they meet easily, or the shins. Look up and lengthen halfway. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back to plank, top of a press up. Take a breath here, knees down if you're pregnant. And then exhale, knees up or down, low onto the belly. If you're pregnant, you can come into a little camel instead. Once you're on your belly, unless you're pregnant, inhale, curl up into cobra. Elbows hug into the side body, collarbones broaden. Exhale, ripple the forehead to the earth. Then interlace your fingers behind your back. Press the tops of the feet into the floor, particularly baby toe side. And then with the pressing of the legs into the floor, start to drag your knuckles towards your heels until your head lifts up off the earth. That's it. And then keep reaching the heart forwards as you reach the knuckles back and the toes back into locust, Shavasana. So if you can widen your inner heels more towards the outside. Other way. Yes, that's it. You got it. Good. One more breath, everyone. See if you can lift your chest higher. That's it, Martha. And then exhale, lower down, hands back underneath the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Tuck the toes under, press it back, downward facing dog. Good. Find that connection to earth, hands and feet root. Helen, I think your down dog could be a little longer, my love, because you've got such a beautiful long spine. See how that feels? That's it, good. Then from here, inhale, raise your right leg high to the sky and stay in a three-leg dog. See if you can lower the right hip so it's level with the left, and then turn all 5 of the right toes to face down. And then see if you can sink your left heel, the lower heel, closer to the ground. So you're opening up that lower calf muscle. That's it. Take a full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, step the right foot all the way through between your hands. Make sure the front knee and ankle are stacked. Help the foot if it got stuck along the way. Lower the back knee down and then reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Then from here, your right hand's going to take hold of your left wrist. Right hand, left wrist. Then squeeze the inner thighs together, squeeze the arms together, lengthen the spine to the sky. Keep that length and now start to reach up and over to the right. So you come into this lovely side bend in the upper body. Good. What's going to help you feel stable is really hugging the legs towards each other. And then if you want to slightly increase the intensity of the stretch of the back leg, tilt your tailbone down as you curl your pubic bone to sky and you'll feel more intensity there. And then the kind of cherry on the cake is to use that top arm to slightly tug on the left wrist. And you should feel this beautiful side crescent body opening. One more full breath in. And then press through the feet, come back up through neutral. Release the hands either side of the front foot. Keep the back toes under, lift the back knee up, and then open the right arm to the sky. So you're in a runner's lunge twist, nice and open. So you should be good with that, Laura. Good. And then kick out through the back heel and let the inner back thigh lift to the sky. So that back thigh is very active. That's it, Dan. You got it. Good. Full deep breath in, spread the top fingers. And then exhale, lower the top hand down, glide back into plank and take a vinyasa or modified vinyasa if you're pregnant or want to modify today. See if you can let the breath lead the movement rather than the mind or the body. And then we'll move back in downward facing dog. Check in with your breath. Soften anywhere that doesn't need to be working. Then root both hands strongly into the ground. As you inhale, left leg floats to the sky, three-legged dog. Again, lower the left hip so it's equal to the earth, to the right. All 5 toes of the left foot point down. And then squeeze and sink the right heel, the lower heel towards the earth. Good. Take one more breath in, lengthen that left leg. Exhale, step the left foot all the way through between the hands. Lower the back knee down again, just check front knees over the front ankles. Sweep the arms to sky. This time, left hand takes right wrist. Squeeze the inner thighs together, squeeze the arms together, lengthen ribs away from pelvis, and then start to go up and over to the left into a side bend. And then really focus on sending your breath into the lower right rib cage where you're feeling all of that opening. If you want to make the back thigh opening deeper again, tailbone drops down, pubic bone draws to sky. And then final little cherry on the cake is maybe the top hand gives a little extra tug onto that right wrist. So you feel this big, beautiful opening. Again, really good for opening up the lymph glands, the armpit area. One more full breath in. Root through the front foot, release the arms either side of the front foot. Keep the back toes tucked under, float the back knee up. And then right hand stays down, left hand opens to sky. Keep having a slight sense of the left inner knee and the right elbow squeezing towards each other. That's it, Lily, you got it, good. Engage that back thigh, lift the inner back thigh high to the sky. That's it, Laura, beautiful. One more full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lower the top hand down. Everyone step back to plank. And then slowly, slowly come down onto your belly and then take Sphinx. Laura, instead, as we do this thigh stretch on our bellies, I'm going to invite you to do it from your lunge, if that makes sense, okay? So everyone, once you're in the Sphinx pose, bring your right forearm so it's parallel to the front edge of the mat. The right forearm is parallel to the front edge of the mat. That's it. Then hug your right heel in towards your bum and with your right hand, grab hold of the foot. Good. Now start to kick the foot slightly back. So you engage the hamstring. Keep that slight resistance, but now start to draw the heel towards the bum. If you're more open in the shoulder, you can spin the fingers forwards and lift the elbow to the sky as I'm showing. Good. You got it. And then same thing, if you want to increase the intensity of the thigh stretch, slightly send your tailbone towards your back knee. Welcome, Alice. Alice, just take your time to warm up if you don't feel ready to jump straight in. Then slowly release that back foot, come back through Sphinx, and then Laura, you're going to change the lunge. And then go ahead and hug the left heel in. Right forearm is this time actually at the front, and then reach around and grab hold of the foot. And then first thing is to kick the foot slightly back, so you engage the hamstring. And then against that kicking backwards, now start to draw the heel in towards the butt. That's it. This is super good if we've spent the morning sitting, or we do a lot of cycling or running or walking. This really opens up the front of the pelvis, the hip flexors, which do a lot of work. Good. Last 2 breaths. Keep pushing down through that front forearm so you're not collapsing through the chest. Good, everyone. And then slowly, slowly release. Come all the way down onto your belly and interlace your fingers above your lower back. And then Laura, you'll come into a camel pose again and do like a camel variation of locust. So interlace the fingers. If you can, interlace them the unusual way, just to get the brain working. Press the tops of the feet into the ground, slightly hug your ankles towards each other, and then start to reach the knuckles back and up. Lift the chest. Back of the neck stays long. And then option 1, stay here. Or option 2, float the legs now up off the floor as well. And then once the legs are lifted, just check what's happening in your butt cheeks. They want to be engaged, but not gripping. If they grip, they pinch the lower back. Then use the inhale to see if you can get longer. And then use the exhale maybe to see if you can float the chest and the legs higher. These are very humbling poses, these prone back bends. One more round. Inhale, get longer. That's it. Exhale, melt all the way down. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. When you're ready, make your way back into either downward facing dog, option 1. Or if you want to open the shoulders a bit more, come onto your forearms and then lift the hips and come into a dolphin variation. It's like a downward dog, except your forearms are down instead of your hands. And then whether it's your hands or your forearms that are on the floor, really have a sense of them pushing down into the earth, but almost trying to slide forwards. And then in opposition, the hips and the side body lengthen back and up diagonally. And then flood the posture with your breath. Relax your neck. The inner upper arms squeeze slightly towards each other. Good. One last one. And then if you're in dolphin with the forearms down, come back into downward facing dog and then walk your hands once again backwards towards your feet. So you're in a Uttanasana, forward fold at the back edge of the mat. And then again, interlace the fingers above your lower back. Let the head go, reach the arms up and overhead, really opening up through the shoulders. And then let's get really clear with the legs. Hug your inner ankles towards each other. Keep the inner arches of the feet lifting. And then start to ignite the thighs. So lift from the kneecap upwards towards the belly. And lean a little bit more weight towards the front part of the foot. And you'll feel that opening up the hamstrings a little bit more. Good. Use your knuckles lifting up to draw your shoulder blades away from your ears. So there's lots of clarity and space. That's it. One more full breath in here. And then slowly, slowly start to lower the hands to the lower back and then all the way to the floor and then come back into downward facing dog. Nice, everyone. Then from downward dog, press through both hands firmly. Inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot all the way through between the hands. And then spin the back foot down and in 45 degrees. Press through the feet, reach the arms up. Come into your warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And then assume that the outer right hip is swinging outwards. So draw the outer right hip in and back. And then open the shoulders by drawing the baby fingers in and widen the thumbs. And then lift up. Get really long and spacious and open. That's it. Really good. Press through the outside edge of the back foot. Lift and lengthen a little bit more. And then as you exhale, bring your hands together into prayer. So from here, if there's any sensitivity around your lower back, I'm going to invite you to let the back heel lift. If there's no issues in the lower back, keep the back foot in warrior 1. Then we're going to lift and lengthen. Stay here, Laura, for a moment. If you're not pregnant, then go ahead and bring your outer left elbow onto the right thigh into prayer twist. Laura, you're just going to release your left hand down, reach the right arm up, so you're staying nice and open twist. Then connect the palms together. Lily, go the other way, so you're turning towards Dan. That's it. But you can hook your elbow if it feels good onto the thigh. No, okay, it doesn't feel good. Cool. So keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Keep reaching down through the outer edge of the back foot. Good. Each time you inhale, can you lengthen the crown of the head a little further forwards? And then slowly, slowly unravel. Release the hands to the earth and either take yourself through a vinyasa. If you want to skip the vinyasa, then we'll meet back on downward dog. If you need a child's pose in between, take a child's pose. Good. So those of you who just did a vinyasa, I'm going to invite you to do one more. But what I want you to really focus on is those of you doing chaturanga, when you're lowering the shoulders, see if you can just lower the shoulders to the height of the elbows, no lower, because otherwise that puts too much pressure on the shoulders. So if you want to come forwards into plank, If you're going to take a chaturanga, only lower the chest to the height of the elbows, and then from there move straight into up dog. It requires a little bit more strength, but it's a lot more of a sustainable way to practice over the years. That's it. And then press back, downward facing dog. Good, everyone. I see the difference. Then take a full breath in. Open the mouth, whatever's coming up, clear it out. Press through both hands. Inhale, left leg slowly, sweetly to the sky, toes spread. Exhale, step the left foot through between the hands. Spin the back foot down in 45 degrees, and then press through the feet, rise up, warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. And then same thing, outer left hip, draw it in and back, so the pelvis works towards the front. If that hurts the back knee, you simply hop the back foot slightly wider. And then baby fingers draw in, thumbs widen. You should feel that sense of the shoulder blades moving away from each other. Then as you press to the outer edge of the back foot, can you curl pubic bone to sky and even take your upper back slightly further back. One more breath here. Exhale, bring your hands together into prayer. Then press the palms together, lift and lengthen. And then either go ahead and hook right forearm on outer left knee, or if you're pregnant or you want to modify, right hand down, left arm up. So you're either in a closed twist or an open twist. And then if the hands are together into prayer, really press the palms together. This will help ignite the belly muscles. Root through the outside edge of the back foot, extend the crown of the head, lengthen through the spine before really going into that deep twist. 2 more rounds of breath. Excellent, everyone. One last one. And then slowly, slowly release, come back. And again, choose to do a vinyasa, or you can do a child's pose instead, a downward dog instead. But make sure that the priority is breath. It's a sense of being in the postures in mind, body, and spirit. And then we'll meet back in downward facing dog. And then slowly, slowly walk your hands backwards towards your feet. And then go ahead and bring your hands onto your hips and squeeze your elbows towards each other. So you feel the elbows draw towards each other, and look forwards with a flat back. Slowly, slowly start to come all the way up to stand. And then look at your feet and just turn your feet ever so slightly pigeon-toed. So let the inner heels widen, like 10%. And then go ahead, I'll show you from the back. Option 1, take your hands onto the top of the bum, fingers down. If you're a little more open in the wrists, you could even take the fingers to point upwards. So see what feels good. Both variations, squeeze the elbows towards each other, so you get this lovely opening through the chest. And then press through the feet. With your fingers, direct your tailbone down, pubic bone up. And then lift, 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 lift the side body. And then start to take the upper back up and back into standing camel. Keep squeezing the inner legs towards each other, squeezing the elbows towards each other. And then to take it deeper, the forehead goes up and back without kinking in the neck. And then make sure there's breath. Shoulder blades just gently releasing away from the ears towards the earth. Good. Last 2. Take one more full deep breath in. Lift the chest higher if you can. And then as you exhale, engage the belly muscles. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Slowly, slowly come all the way up. And then now step your feet all the way together. Big toes, inner ankles touch. Bring your hands onto your hips. Shift your weight into your right foot. And just to begin with, turn the left foot out, resting the left heel on the top of the right foot. And then just check both your hips are aiming forwards. If one's gone off to the side, use your hands to steer it back centrally. Then with your eyes, find a spot on the floor to focus on. This is known as the drishti. This will help you balance. And then option 1, if balance is tricky, then you can stay here. Option 2, you can bring the sole of the left foot below the knee onto the inner shin, or bring it all the way up to the inner shin. Wherever the foot and leg meets, really squish them into each other so that inner leg works. And then start by bringing the hands together into prayer. If it's easy to balance, you could bring your drishti, your gaze, to look either straight along the horizon, up towards the sky, or if you're feeling daredevilish this Monday lunchtime, you could even close the eyes and see how challenging it is to balance without the help of the eyes. Good. And then you can choose to stay here with your arms, or slowly open the arms into a Y shape. If you want to challenge the balance even more, you can come onto a wind-blown tree by bringing left hand onto left thigh, right arm up and over into this side bend. But then you have to really hug the foot and the leg in towards one another. That's it. Nice, everyone. If you're in the wind-blown tree, come back through center. Everyone bring the hands together into prayer. And then slowly, slowly keep the left leg lifted, hug the left knee in and take your hands around the left knee and squeeze in. Now, option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, right hand to outer left knee, left arm reaches back. And then if you're feeling super balanced, you might start to look towards that back thumb. But keep working on the inhale to grow taller, drawing navel to spine gently as you exhale to help you balance. And if there's wobbles, it's perfect. We're just flowing through space, not working for perfection. One last breath, grow a little taller. If you're looking backwards, start to look forwards. Everyone take hold of the knee with both hands. Squeeze the knee in, just open the hip one more time. And then exhale, release the foot down. And then just for a second, shake out the legs. After one leg balance, I like to kind of slightly thump my glutes, my butt cheeks with my hands, because they often think it's their sole job to hold the balance, but actually there's other muscles working. Then bring the feet together again, hands on the hips. This time shift your weight into the left foot. Start in that level 1 variation with the heel of the right foot resting on the left, and then check both hips stay front. Then find your drishti. Initially on the floor is easier, and then either stay here or take the foot into whichever variation of tree, Vrikshasana, works for you. Then find that hugging in, foot into leg, leg into foot. And then same thing, as the hands come into prayer, press the palms together super dynamically until you feel the arm muscles switch on and the belly muscles switch on. And then either stay looking down or maybe look ahead along the horizon, up to the sky, or maybe have a little play with closing the eyes. But remembering it's all just play, nothing to prove, nothing to achieve. And then either stay here or slowly maybe take the arms into that Y shape, or maybe wind-blown tree, in which case right hand, right thigh, left arm sweeps up and over into that side bend. Do your best to keep the breath flowing smoothly, to keep the facial expression somewhat as though you like doing yoga. And then slowly, if you're in the wind-blown tree, come back. Whoop, bring your hands together. Then stabilize through the left foot, hug the right knee in, squeeze in. And you can stay here by all means in standing pigeon, or left hand outside right knee, right arm stretches back. And then either stay looking forwards, or to challenge the balance, look towards the back thumb. And again, if there's wobbles, it's perfect. We're building bone density in that standing leg, which is kind of like anti-aging yoga. Good, everyone. If you're looking back, slowly start to look forwards. Release both hands back onto that front knee. Give it one more loving squeeze in. And then exhale, lower the foot all the way down. And then again, shimmy, shake it out. Good, everyone. So from here, I'm going to just turn to the side so you can see me. We're going to do one more standing balance. We're going to work into a pose called Natrajasana, which is Royal Dancer, which is this amazing balance, but it's also a big chest opener and a big thigh opener. So shift your weight over into your left foot, hug your right heel in, and take hold of the inside edge of the foot. This is important. So it's the big toe side you're holding. And then squeeze the thighs together. And this is also important. Lengthen your tailbone slightly down, pubic bone to sky. Then reach the left arm up to the sky and let that lift your chest up. Then slowly, slowly start to kick the right foot back and up, but keep the chest lifted. So the left fingertips lifting to the sky is what's going to help you here. The inner back thigh, keep hugging it in towards the midline. That's it. Beautiful expressions, everyone. Last 2 breaths. Keep kicking the back lifted leg up and back as much as you can. Heart lifting vibrantly to the sky. One more round of breath. And then slowly, slowly go ahead and release out. Good work, everyone. Shake it out. And if anyone had any like lower back pain in that, make sure you really work on lifting the rib cage up away from the pelvis. So let's change over now. Let's lean the weight into the right foot. Hug the left foot up and hold on to, remember, the big toe side. Squeeze your thighs to touch. Tailbone down, pubic bone up. And then reach the right arm all the way up to the sky. And then slowly, keeping the chest lifted, kick the left foot back and up as you keep the chest lifting brightly to the sky. Keeping the eyes focused on a non-moving point will really help you. And then again, inner back left thigh, hug it in towards the midline. Breathe into your upper lungs. Breathe all the way up to the collarbones for the last 2 breaths. Good, one last one. And then exhale, slowly lower down and just again, shake it out. And I have exciting news. We're going to do that pose one more time each side because it's such a good one for opening up the whole front body, especially like I said, if we've been sat this morning. So when you're ready, take your time. We're going to come into the second side and I'm going to invite you to do it between 5 to 8 breaths. Count your own breaths. If after 5 you're good, just come down, stand in mountain pose. If you want to take it more to 8, take it more to 8. So shift your weight into your left foot. Find your drishti with the eyes. Hug the right heel into the bum, hold onto the big toe side of the foot. Squeeze the thighs together, tailbone down, pubic bone up. Raise the left arm up. Keep your eyes steady as you slowly start to kick the foot back and up, keeping the chest lifted, and then count your own breaths, 5 to 8 ujjayi breaths. Each time you exhale, gently gathering the lower belly muscles back towards the spine. This is looking really beautiful, everyone. Whenever your body tells you it's time to come down, you honor that and you stand in mountain pose, you bear witness. You've got a few more breaths to stay in it, then stay in it and celebrate it. Really good, everyone. And then when you're ready, you come out, slowly begin to take it to the other side. So lean your way into your right foot, hold on to the inner big toe side of the left foot. Tailbone down, pubic bone up, right arm lifts to the sky. And then when you're ready, take your time, let everything catch up with itself, and then start to express yourself fully in Natrajasana. So heart lifting, back, inner thigh hugging into the midline rather than winging out. That's it, Helen, you got it. Really amazing, everyone. And again, listen to your body. When it wants to come out, you honor that, you let it come out. It's a big shoulder opener, big energetic heart opener as well. And then whenever you eventually come out, you just stand tall in mountain pose, palms forwards. You might even close the eyes and just for a couple of breaths, notice the shift where you feel perhaps more heat or more spaciousness in the physical body. But also starting to notice perhaps any differentiation in how your mind now feels. Maybe how fast or slow the thoughts come up. And then lastly, dropping your awareness into the very center of your chest, into the heart space. And again, observing, has this practice so far triggered any emotional responses? And if they have, then can you just bear witness to that? Notice what you're being revealed about your internal state, and then take a big full breath in as you grow taller. And then open the mouth, let something go. Good. And then very gently open the eyes, soften the knees, bring the hands, slide them all the way down the front of the legs. And then slowly, you're going to come to lie down. So come lie down onto your back. And you're going to come onto your back with your knees bent, feet quite close in towards your bum. So just about your fingertips can touch your heels. And then go ahead and turn the palms to face up. And then snuggle your shoulder blades down the back. And Laura, you just stay on your back for only as long as feels good. If it feels like you need to do something else, then let me know and I'll give you another option. So we're going to move into bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. You're going to take a big full deep breath into the upper chest. And then as you exhale, start to press through the feet, lift the pelvis high to the sky. So lift the pelvis, lift the back up off the floor. Now, if you can, interlace your hands underneath you. So interlace your fingers and hands, they'll be kind of underneath your bum. And then snuggle your upper arm bones towards each other. Good. And then press the feet, the hands, the elbows down, lift your pelvis higher. Sophie, spin your inner heels a little wider and then your feet will be more parallel. That's it. And then each time you inhale, can you drag your chest upwards towards where your head is? But then as you exhale, let the tailbone softly reach towards the gap between your knees. And if you're pregnant, you might want to do a rise up on the inhale and a lower down on the exhale, so it's a little less intense. That's it. Good. 3 more breaths. Keep pressing the back of the skull into the floor so you keep this natural curve in the lower back, also in the back of the neck. Last 2. Good. One last one. And then before you come down, release the hands, move the arms out the way, lengthen your tailbone towards the front edge of your mat, and then slowly lower the upper back down first, then the mid back, then the lower back all the way down. And just take a couple of breaths. We're going to go there again. So these back bends, these chest openers are really good for elevating out any blocked energy in our system, but also they're very kind of uplifting. So in these challenging times, external times, back bends are very much a resource for us in our yoga practice. So make sure your feet are again hip bones distance apart. As best you can feel, your feet are parallel to one another. Then this time I'm going to invite you to do a slightly different variation with the arms. I'm going to invite you to do what's known as robot arms. So go ahead and bring your elbows alongside your body and then hinge your forearms so they're pointing up to the sky. So your arms are at a right angle. Good. And then take a full deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the pelvis up. Come all the way up. So your elbows are right touching your side ribs. So Dan and Lily, bring your elbows alongside your body rather than up. That's it. And then point your fingers to the sky. And then everyone try and get your upper arm bones as close into your upper body as you can. And then use your arms to press down into the floor to then try and thrust your chest higher towards the ceiling. Again, if you're pregnant, you might not hold it. You might just flow up and down into it. And then really use the arms and the feet pressing down to thrust the chest to the sky. Back of the head also gently reaches in towards the earth. Last 2 breaths. Relax the face if you can. Good. One last one. And then slowly, before you come down, find that length of the tailbone moving towards the space between your knees, and then lower the upper back down, then the mid back down, and then the lower back down. Take your feet now as wide as the mat and let your inner knees rest against each other, and then bring one hand onto the heart, one hand onto the belly. So let your inner knees rest against each other just so that they can completely release. That's it. And then just take a couple of breaths. Notice if the inhale or the exhale is kind of taking over or being dominant, and see if you can find a balance between the two. If you're feeling like there's a lot of tension in your body you want to let go of, then slightly extend the exhale so it's a little longer than the inhale. Relax the skin across the forehead, around the eyes, around the base of your jaw and your tongue. Lovely, everyone. And then everyone, open your arms into a cactus shape. So from your shoulder to your elbows, a straight line, and fingers reaching overhead. If your wrists don't meet the floor like that, then you can just widen the forearms slightly. Then we're going to start to windscreen wiper the knees. So allow both knees now from here to go over to the right, and then inhale through center and then over to the left. So just windscreen wipering the legs a few times. What this does is it just helps clear any lines of tension in the lower back that some of the back bending sometimes can ignite. Good. Last 2 times. And then bring your legs back to center and bring your feet more like hip bones distance apart. And then we're going to come and hook the outer left ankle onto the lower right thigh. And then float the right leg up off the floor. Thread your left hand through the gap between your legs. Reach the right hand round and then grab around the front of the knee with both hands, the front of the right knee. And then to keep the left knee happy, make sure the left foot is flexed. And then start to use on the exhale the hands to draw the right knee closer, but then send the left knee further away. And you should start to feel around the outer left hip, lots of opening. Now, for most of you, that's going to feel more than enough, like of a stretch around the outer hip. If some of you are a little more open around the hip, you can always lift your head, cradle your elbows, around the left knee and the left foot, and then lower the head back down. And some of you might even be able to stretch that right leg out into a slightly deeper variation of supine pigeon. So whichever variation you're in, make sure you're feeling in the hips and the hip muscles rather than the knee. If you're feeling in the knee, you need to back off. Take a couple more breaths. And those of you holding onto the shin like a cradle, see if you can get the shin as best you can to be parallel to your collarbones. Nice, everyone. And then slowly, slowly, whichever variation you're in, gently release, bring both feet back to the floor. Start in the simplest variation. So now hook the outer right ankle onto the lower left thigh. Float the left knee off the floor. Right hand threads through the gap between your legs, and then left hand reaches around and you grab hold of the left foot. And then deep breath in, flex the right ankle. And then as you exhale, gently use the hands to draw your left knee towards you, towards your body, but then gently reach the right thigh away from you. Again, for most of us, this is already an intense stretch around the outer right hip, in which case stay here. If you're a little more open in the hips and want a deeper stretch, lift the head, cradle the arms now around the right shin, and then either left foot to the floor. If you're a little more open, left foot can stretch away. But again, feel it in the thigh, in the hip, rather than in the knee itself. Check there's a softening between the two jaws, so none of the hip tension is manifesting in the face. And those of you cradling the shin, do your best to get the shin parallel to the collarbones. Good. And then slowly, slowly begin to release. Hug both knees into your chest. And then let's come into happy baby. So open the knees as wide as the shoulders, float the soles of the feet to the sky, and then option one, hold on to the outer shins with each hand. If you're a little more open, you can reach and hold the outside edge of the foot. If you can avoid holding the inside edge, you'll be more aligned. And then look at your feet, and as best you can, check they're parallel. They're not turned out like a duck or turned in like pigeon toe. And then each time you exhale, use the hands to gently bend the elbows to draw the knees towards the floor. Doing your best to keep the back of the skull rooted and even the base of the spine. There's this triangular bone called the sacrum, really rooting that down. And then as you can see your toes, invite your toes to spread, just so we're really bringing that full body awareness. Good, everyone. Last 2 breaths. And then from here, we're going to do like a supine, gentle inversion with the legs. So now go ahead and extend both the legs up to the sky, and also start to stretch both arms up to the sky. So you're like a little dead bug. And then just for a moment, relax the wrists, keep a tiny softness through the knees, and just hold here, allowing the blood to circulate down into the belly. This is really, really good for keeping our circulation happy, especially in this kind of transition into autumn time. If there's tightness in the backs of the legs, you might need to bend the knees more for this to feel easeful. Stay with it, keep the breath going. Good, last 3 breaths. This is super good for just bringing new fresh blood flowing through the legs, flowing through the system. Good, and then very, very slowly go ahead and hug your knees in, reach your arms and wrap them around the knees. And we're going to do 3 breaths where we're going to inhale, hold the breath, not so long if you're pregnant for the holding of the breath, you could just keep the breath going. But if you're not pregnant, you're going to hold the breath, and on the hold of the breath, you're going to squeeze all of your muscles as much as you can to create as much tension as you can, so that then when we exhale, we release as much tension as we can. So take a full deep breath in, and then lift the forehead and the knees up to meet each other. And then unless you're pregnant, hold your breath, and then everyone squeeze, 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 so much tension, tight, 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 tight. And then exhale, lower your head back down, release the tension. Let's do it 2 more times. This is a really good way of clearing tension from the body. So as you inhale, lift the head and the knees to meet each other. Hold the breath, squeeze, so it's kind of disgusting and wonderful. Tight, 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 lots of tension. And then exhale, let it go, release the head. One more time. Inhale, head and knees come to meet each other. Hold the breath, squeeze all of this tension, toes, head, brain, belly, everything squeezing tight. And then as you exhale, release. Begin to stretch your legs out into Shavasana, lying on your back. If you're past around 20 weeks and it doesn't feel good to lie on your back pregnant, then you can lie on your left side. Open your arms nice and wide to the side, palms face up. And we're just going to do a short round of breathing to help us really drop into our Shavasana. So yeah, add any socks or layers that you feel really comfortable. And then once you're on your back, slide both shoulder blades down the back, away from the ears. And you want the chin ever so slightly lower than the forehead. So just lift the head and slightly draw the chin in so the back of the neck's really deliciously long. And we're going to do a breath count where we're going to exhale longer than we inhale. This has a really soothing effect on the nervous system. So the count will be in for 4 and out for 6. And those of you familiar with the yogic breath, the ujjayi breath with a narrowed channel at the base of the throat, I'm going to invite you to use that as we move through a few rounds. So go ahead and exhale out all your breath. And then slow, deep inhale for the count of 4. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, fill the breath to the collarbones, 4, and then slow controlled exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty fully. Again, big deep breath in. 1, 2, fill side ribs all the way up to the collarbones, 4, and then exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more rounds. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 2 rounds. Big breath in. 1, 2, fill side body, 3 to the top, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round, inhaling 1, 2, 3, all the way to the top, 4. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let that go and just completely now allow your natural breath to breathe you. Let the back body drop its whole way into the earth, as though any tension that might be remaining in the body is draining and dripping itself out through the body, into the mat, into the earth. Give yourself complete permission to rest. Not just the physical body, but also invite your mind to just let go of its work, just for these few sacred moments of rest in our day. See how soft you can let your entire skin from top to toe become. And really, this is the most valuable pose we could do in the practice, because it's where the integration and the assimilation of everything we've just done is happening, the intelligence of the body. So if thoughts come up, just see them, but try not to get drawn in. Let your body just be. And I'm going to become quiet for 2 full minutes. Don't panic, I haven't disappeared. I'm just giving you that silence. And I'll call you back in 2 minutes to close collectively. So just take breaths. Very gently start to bring your awareness back to the space you're lying in. Noticing the rising and falling of your natural breath. And before you move or change anything, just take a moment to notice how you feel. Having honored yourself enough to give yourself an hour's practice at lunch, right at the beginning of your week. And then take a long, deep, congratulatory breath in. Open mouth, releasing breath out. Gently start to move your fingers and your toes. And one by one, hug the knees up into the chest, moving nice and slowly. And then you can roll on to whichever side you feel most drawn to, roll to, and then very slowly you can come up to sit in any comfortable seated position with the eyes closed and the hands gently together in prayer. And then we'll close with one Om. You can either join me in your spaces or just gently listen to it. But this sound Om is said to be this sound expression of connectivity, of joining, of becoming connected to the world at large, which is one of the main purposes of yoga. So take a deep breath in. And then gently bow your head in towards your heart and really thank yourself for the practice. Thank your body. May this practice help us to move through the world with greater ease and steadiness. And may each of us be an example of peace in action. Namaste.